Hi everybody, my name is Vicky Hanna and I am your trainer for the Diploma of Community Services, which we run on Thursday nights from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in Melbourne time. All of Hayter's appointments are run based on Melbourne time. So if you're new to Hayter, you will be starting at the beginning of a new unit. So this unit is combined, so we call this cluster, and it is two units, CHCCCS007 and DEV005. Now, the reason why we cluster these is they are very parallel and sit beside each other. This is just a brief introduction and a welcome to be able to direct you if you're brand new to Hayter or if you're looking for some connection to be able to get some support around other matters that you need as a learner with us. But we're going to be running this over a 6-week period. And the reason why it has so much depth to it is that when you go into work placement for your diploma, it is 200 hours. But 100 hours, so 50% of this is based on these 2 units plus another couple of units that all align with it. In general, you will find that the pre-recording that I have sent out for you, which is to cover the whole of the unit and to walk you through the assessments as well, is something that you can download and keep. And I recommend that you open up a folder for every brand new unit that you're doing. Open up a folder, a master one for Diploma of Community Services, and then your subfolders inside there for each unit that you do. You will have your learner's guide that goes into your porthole, any other resources. But when we come into classes, there may be some extra resources, and tonight I want to do that. So this is part 1, and then part 2 is going to be just our live class and a discussion where we're unpacking our thoughts around some of this. And I want to cover the overview and then also the foundation of why is this unit important to us as community sector workers. I'm going to walk you through an intake process, a referral process. I'm going to show you how we report to our funding bodies as well and give you some samples of what they are, just show you on the screen. Or of course you can contact me and I'm happy to share those with you as well if you do that straight after a class. So class is not something that you have to go to, but class is definitely something where you're going to mix with your peers. You'll have people who you'll be able to do your role plays with. And because they have that same understanding, you don't have to coach them about what have we got to do with this client, because the other learners are already going to be studying. So you will be the client for somebody else and they will be the client for you. And this can be done, this particular unit is in task 3. So task 1 is a quiz. Task 2 is an in-depth research report, and we give you a selection of a topic that you can look at around that developmental with the program. And then what are the complexities that design a program? Why does a government body fund a particular program, and how do we get them funded as well? It's essential for you because without funding, there is no employment in the community service sector. So if the government of the day puts money into NDIS or puts money into mental health, housing and homelessness, alcohol and other drugs, early any of the other ranges around, young parents who are early school leavers, unemployed or underemployed, parenting programs, it's because we in the community sector will lobby for that, or we'll have peak bodies who will represent that. So we need to do task 2 to find out what's happening in your local area. If you're going to be a worker in your suburb, or you're happy to travel to work, then you'll need to know in that postcode or that region what are the services that are available, and who are the people that you're going to be able to refer your clients to. So when you jump in with us, we give you a simulated workplace environment, and we call that first access. You will play the role, hypothetically, of a staff member, and we'll give you the scenario and we'll explain that. That task 2 is about the social, economical influences, cultural. We talk about the stigma that sits around that, and pick a topic from the list that you have an interest in, or maybe you have skills already and you can build on that. It is your choice which one you decide to select. So all of them are high demand, all of them require workers. Just by going through one topic will cover you for the skills to be able to go and research anything really, and what it is that we need to consider. We need to then move into task 3. And task 3 is the role play, and it gives us a client. The client's name is Maria, and Maria presents with very high and complex needs, and you will simulate having a discussion with Maria. But in class, in our second part of our recording, we're going to discuss what are some of the priority needs, what we identify with the client, what the client is raising with us. And then we're going to unpack that a little bit more in the theory and in our discussion. And that's going to be week 1 of our 6 weeks on this unit. You will then see that there are tasks 4 and task 5. They are left for in the workplace. So you'll know that what you're covering now will also help you when you're doing those assessments. We'll have a discussion about people who already are sector workers and how they can get recognised for that prior learning and that knowledge, lived experience, paid or unpaid. I'll even unpack how that looks at what we need to do and share a discussion around some of the evidence that we would need to have supported, and whether that has a value space. We're going to be discussing some of the complex issues and referrals, our privacy and confidentiality, our sensitivity when we speak with this particular client. When you finish doing that part of task 3, it asks you to then speak to your line manager or simulate that. Your line manager in this one is called Michael. Michael's a worker at First Access, and so are you, a worker at First Access. And you go to Michael to talk about your client, Maria, where you're up to, how you're progressing, what the plan is. Michael, your line manager, is aware that it's very high and complex. And then what might you need as a worker to be able to support you in that space, so that Michael can offer suggestions, Michael can debrief and give you some supervision around that as well. So part 2 tonight is 2 small recordings, and the class will have a discussion around it. We will start working on the research project in week 2, and we will spend week 2 and move over to week 3, where we will offer these role plays in class time if you would like to. However, if we are finding that we need extra time to do the role plays and the research, we will continue to carry on for the full 6 weeks. But what I'll start to do is try and encourage you to work on this, and then the week 3 is going to be the role play. Week 4, we can do some more role plays. It's a relatively big class. And then we might move into week 5 and 6, where we'll be finishing off anyone who would like to do that in class, though this one you do not need to. You can connect with someone in class, or you may have family, as long as they're over 18, doing the role play with you, and submit that yourself. So I've seen some amazing role plays for this unit, and everyone is completely different. So your style that you bring into the role play, it's really important, and we encourage you to do that. So we give you a list of what is the assessor looking for. And I also have another document that I'm going to send out with the recordings, which is a summary on how I assess and what I assess on, so that you know when you're going to do your role play, which areas to focus on, rather than get overwhelmed with the story, which it is very complex, but bring it back into your micro skills. It's not really something that we try and spend too much time on in our day. We don't know what story our clients are going to come in if they're coming in through the door to sit down, but we do need to be able to finely tune our micro skills. When you do your role play, I want you and your client on the screen at all times, rather than one person on the screen and another. I won't be able to assess your micro skills or what you do and what your engagement is like if I can't see you when your client is speaking. So make sure that when you record that, you record it to your own device and you set it up where all people are on that screen as well. So I'll move over now for us to be able to do our second part of the recording. If you've got any questions at all, or you're looking for resources on how to do role plays, LSO are our learner support officers. And I've got their email up here behind me on my screen. So it's lowercase l, lowercase s, lowercase o, at hayderinstitute.edu.au. So have a great week. Stay tuned. We're about to jump into our second recording, so you get 2 sent out to you and some supporting documents that I wanted to provide for you. We'll see you in class next week if we can. Otherwise, you will definitely get your recording sent out to you. And if there's, for some reason, the recording hasn't landed with you of the whole 2 units, make sure you let LSO know that if they've got the right email, or if there's anything that's going into your spam folder, we need to make sure that you're getting all of that information when everyone else is getting it. But in the first instance, go to LSO. If you're brand new to HADA as a learner, then welcome. And know that you're joining an amazing class of the Diploma of Community Services. So I'll say good night from part 1. Leave it to the class to be talking in part 2 in the recording. And after you've watched both of these, save them into your folder. And I'm hoping that you join us in the following weeks for this unit to get some support from your peers as well.